What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, the coaching connoisseur, and I want to welcome you to our training broadcast for today. Hope you've had a fabulous week, and I hope you are ready to take some notes because today we're going to be talking about 10 reasons that you should be running the show in 2022. We just have 2 weeks left before 2021 disappears into history forever, and it seems like the year has gone by so fast, and it could be that you had a dream to start your coaching business this year or really any type of business, and it did not happen or it did not happen on the level that you wanted to. But today we're going to be talking about 10 reasons why you absolutely need to be the HNIC, the person in charge, the head person in charge, HPIC of your business. And a lot of times the things that we're going to be talking about today are things that in the job world are looked at as a negative. They are looked at in a less than complimentary way. And so these are often traits that we want to deny or look the other way or push them down or press them, repress them, or try to figure out how to make ourselves less of this. But I'm here to tell you today that if you have quite a few or all of these particular traits or situations in your life, I'm going to empower you that it doesn't mean you're wrong and to stop making yourself wrong for it, but instead let that be an indication that you can succeed as an entrepreneur. What's true is that everybody who's talking about, I need to start my own business, is not really cut out for entrepreneurship. A lot of times they're just mad at their boss, or maybe they don't like their job, but they don't actually know if they have what it takes to succeed as an entrepreneur. Sometimes it just means you need to shift into a better job. But today we're going to be talking about 10 reasons why you need to be running your show this year. And then we're going to talk about how you can actually get yourself on the right foot so you can start the year, actually end this year strong and start the next year even stronger. The first reason that you need to be running the show in 2022 is that you often feel like you are too big for the job roles that you have had, especially any jobs where you were not in some type of a leadership or managerial role. That means that you always felt like you were out of place or like there was so much more that you could be doing, so much more that you could be experiencing, so much more that you had to offer. And you always had that feeling inside you. And I won't say deep down inside, because a lot of times people like this, it's always on the surface. You always feel kind of dissatisfied because you feel like you're too big. And it doesn't mean that you think you're better than other people. That's often how it's framed when they're trying to get you to stop feeling this way. But it just means that there's more that you are here to bring. There are some people who are cut out for employment by other people. And then there are those for whom that is just not big enough. They have too much to share, too big of a personality, too big of a vision, too big of ambition, whatever that is. You just have always felt like you're too big for the roles that you have, and almost can feel like you're being smothered as you stay in those roles. That's one indication that you need to be running your own show and that you could succeed as an entrepreneur. The next one is, and I mentioned it a moment ago, but another indication that you don't like your job or that you're bored with your job. Now, again, sometimes that could just mean you need to pivot into a different type of job. But I guarantee, or I'm pretty sure, I can't guarantee, but I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this video, it's because you want to own your own business and not just find a better job. But just in case you're using this checklist to just double check, if you don't like your job, excuse me, and you're bored with your job, and this has persisted for years, this has persisted in multiple jobs, in multiple fields, that can mean you're not cut out for jobs in general. See, jobs are designed to tell you what to do, to keep you on a schedule, keep you on a course, not to really inspire a lot of creative thought. And even jobs where you are given some autonomy, some leeway, ultimately you're beholden to what the employer, what the boss wants you to do. And so if you don't like that kind of a structure, or if your job is boring because it's repetitive, because it's limited, that could be an indication that you need to be running the show in your own job, in your own business. The next one is that you prefer to be a self-starter as opposed to following orders, kind of related to the last one. So a job is designed where they tell you where the company's going, they tell you what the vision is, and they tell you how they want to get there. Now, they may give you some leeway as to some of the specifics, but bottom line is they tell you what direction to head in and when you need to head in that direction. If you prefer to be a self-starter in life, if you've seen that in other areas of your life and you don't like following orders, that could mean that you need to be in charge. And again, these traits, if you listen to these that I've said already and moving forward, are often things that will sometimes show up on performance appraisals that you're not doing a good job. Well, you're not doing a good job. You're not cut out for a job. But don't think that being not wanting to follow orders is a negative thing. Sometimes it just means you're the person that's cut out to be giving the orders. I remember when I was in administrative roles, I was very good at the work, super organized and all that kind of stuff. But I was just like, I think of it as my get your own coffee type of mentality. It wasn't that I don't like to help people. It wasn't that I can't serve people, obviously, my family, my friends. I'm not a person that cannot give or cannot help others, but it was something like, that's something you can do yourself. And that's because back up to the top, I was too big for that role. And so when I was given those things to do that weren't what I was called to do, it was a challenge for me. I did not like following orders. I like to create my own orders. Not following orders doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that you need to be in a role that allows you to kind of cast the vision and create the direction. Also, kind of aligned with that is the fourth one, is that you are a natural leader. If whenever you are in a group, if whenever you are in a space, you tend to gravitate towards the leadership roles and you like that and you excel at that, that can mean that it's time for you to be running your own show and lead out in your own company. Yes, there are situations where you can lead when you're working for somebody else. But again, if that's all you want to do, you probably wouldn't be watching videos about entrepreneurship and about becoming a coach and about quitting your job and being free to travel the world. So yes, if you are a natural leader, that could be another indication that you need to start your own company, and a company that allows you to really explore all of your creativity and the full breadth, height, and depth of your ambitions and what you want out of life and where you want your company to go and where you want to lead your team to go. Because if you're building a 6 or 7 figure coaching business, you're going to need a team eventually, sooner than later, if you scale it fast. And so you're going to need to be able to lead those people. Being a natural leader is going to help you with that. Number 5 is that in your job, you feel unfulfilled, or like you have no purpose, or like you're not moving towards your purpose. Maybe you know what your purpose is in life, but you've told yourself, oh, I'll wait till the kids grow up. Oh, I'll wait till my husband does this or that, or I'll wait until this year, or this happens, I pay this time, whatever it is. Let me tell you something. God does not give you a purpose in life for you to postpone it. Purpose is not for postponement. If he gave you the purpose, it's to be lived out now, with very few exceptions, in some way or the other. So if your job makes you feel completely unfulfilled, even if you are good at your job, that could be an indication that it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. And if you are going down this list and you're writing them down and one after another, you're like, yes, Coach MJ, yes, Queen, that's me. Sis, you need to really, really step into your greatness and stop playing games. If you feel like when you go to work, you're like, yes, I could do this all day long. I can do this job in my sleep. I'm good at it. But at the end of the day, I don't get that feeling of accomplishment, or I don't get that feeling of satisfaction because I've been walking in my purpose and doing what I was uniquely assigned to do here on this earth. You're never going to get past that feeling. You can ignore it. You can try to disguise it, drink it away, distract it away, but it's always going to be there. So if you feel unfulfilled, that could mean that 2022 is your year to actually get up off your duff. Stop trying to make a job work. Stop trying to fit a square peg in a round hole and start running your own show. Number 6 is that you find that you're always doing stuff on the side, and you're not just doing it for money. That was me. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you how many side hustles I had, or I wouldn't even call them hustles, just hobbies and things that I could get lost in for hours, for days, and it didn't even feel like work because I enjoyed it so much, and things that I would do for free because it wasn't about the money. I could have been making money, but it wasn't about the money, and I loved them so much. If you have something like that, stop telling yourself it's just a hobby. Stop telling yourself, oh, I just want to do this sometimes. No, it's something that you need to be doing more and more. Share those gifts with the world. That's why they're given to you, not for you to just keep it all to yourself, but for you to spread it and let other people benefit from your gifts, your expertise, your talent, whatever it is that you're good at. You can build a coaching business, a speaking business, a writing business, or a combination of all those. If you're like me, you can build a business using that same skill set. It doesn't have to be a departure from it to start your own business. It can literally be right in the middle of the stuff you've been doing on the side, always doing stuff on the side, especially if you're doing it while you're supposed to be working. So many people are taking full advantage of this work at home season that we are in right now, the new normal. They are out doing other things when they're supposed to be logged on. I saw somebody the other day, they were at a meeting and they had their laptop. And I said, I thought you were working today. And they said, I am at work. Meanwhile, their laptop was on the table. They were doing other things. That's not the only person. Lots of people do that all the time. And a lot of times it's because the thing that they are doing when they're supposed to be working is the thing they're supposed to be doing. So if you're always doing stuff on the side, that could be a clue that you need to be running your own show in 2022 and stop playing with it. Also, number 7, if you are a big dreamer, you always are thinking outside the box. You got these massive dreams that you don't even like to tell people because by now they think you're crazy, or they always want to dumb you down or talk you down, or why you want to live like that? That's so selfish. That's so this, that, and the other. If people are always telling you, remember, if you are a Bible reading person, remember the story of Joseph and what they did to that dreamer. Remember Martin Luther King, he preached about a dream. The same thing that happened with them, that people try to talk them down off of that or tell them they were doing too much. That can be happening to you as well. But guess where the voices are coming from? They're coming from you. You're the only one who can truly stop you from living your big dream. So if you are always, if in your free time, you're always looking at pictures or websites of these extravagant things that you either can't afford yet or don't have the time to do yet, or it just seems like, who am I to think I can do that? Those big dreams, that's an indicator. You don't get a dream. You don't get a desire in your life where the resource and the opportunity to create that dream and bring it to life does not already exist in your world for you. And you also don't have a dream that you are not meant to fulfill. I'm not talking about fantasies where maybe there's something inappropriate in your fantasy. I don't know. But a true dream, it's meant to be fulfilled. That's why it's in you. It can't be fulfilled by somebody else. So if you are a big dreamer, that could mean that you need to be running the show in 2022 so you can start making that dream come to reality sooner than later. Number 8, if you prefer to have control of your time. Now, this is a big one for me. If I had to put one of these up near the top of my personal list, control of my time. That's kind of attached to not wanting to follow orders. I like to work when I want to work. I like to not work when I don't want to work. I like to, travel and do a little bit of business while I'm traveling, or not do business while I'm traveling, or whatever that is. I want to work 4 days a week or 3 days a week, or, whatever that is. I want to be able to make all those decisions. Somebody asked me the other day, you have a lot of free time, don't you? And that's because the way I work, it seems like I have a lot of free time, but what I really have is a lot of flexibility, right? I do run my business, but it's not a business that requires 50, 60 hours a week. The other one is I can work whenever I want to. So it always seems like I can be wherever and show up for all the things because I have complete control of how I use my time. And if you want that as well, don't make yourself wrong for that. That does not mean that it might make you a bad employee, right? But that means you're not meant to be an employee. You're meant to be an entrepreneur, and you're meant to be calling these shots, and you need to own that and step into it. Number 9, if you are, I was thinking of what way I want to word this. I came up with risk friendly. That's the opposite of risk averse. And it doesn't mean that you go looking for risky situations, but that means that you are not opposed to risky situations, which really everything in life is a risk. It's a risk working for somebody else because they can fire you or lay you off at any given time, right? But working for yourself and starting a business is its own type of risk. If you are not a person that lets that stop you, you just find ways to mitigate the risk and you move on. That actually is an excellent indication that you're cut out for business ownership. The reason why, I forget what the statistic is. I think it's less than 3% of the population maybe makes over $1 million or something crazy like that. The reason why is that there's not that many people who are willing to say, there's a risk. I'm just going to take that as a part of the way things are to have what I want. I'm just going to go there anyway. There's never going to be a time that there's no risk. With entrepreneurship, with working for somebody else, with stepping outside your house in the morning, with being in your house, right? Everything has an element of danger. It's just a matter of, is your dream, is your goal bigger than your fear of the risk? The people who own that at 1% or whatever the statistic is, those are the people that said, I see the risk and I do it anyway. I feel the fear and I do it anyway. So it is almost like you're friendly towards risk because you just recognize it's a part of the process. The reason why the people that own the businesses are the millionaires and billionaires is because they took on the risk. The people that make $50,000 a year are not taking on a lot of risk in that particular space, and that's why they're not rewarded greatly. And so if you are the type that says, you know what, I'm willing to take a chance on me. Yes, I could invest in that business and it might not work, but so what? It might actually work. And what can I do to make sure that it does? Yes, I could invest in that training. I could invest in that coaching. I could invest in that college education, for crying out loud. You talk about a crapshoot, but I'm going to do it anyway because the reward is what I want, right? And so if you are the type person who sees risk and don't let it stop you, you are an excellent candidate for entrepreneurship. Those of you who have a way to do it, but you're scared of the risk and you let it stop you. Because here's the thing. I'm going to stay here for a second. It's not that entrepreneurial people don't acknowledge the risk. It's not that they're never afraid. It's that they don't let that stop them from doing it anyway. That's the bottom line. It's not that you're never afraid. I'm afraid all the time. I guarantee millionaires and billionaires are afraid. They don't want to lose money. I mean, they've worked hard for it, but they recognize the rewards of taking this chance are great. So I'm going to risk a lot, right? And so it's not that you don't feel fear. So I don't want you to feel like, well, I'm afraid, so I must not be cut out. No, you feel the fear, but are you willing to do it anyway? Are you willing to, like the four sisters who are starting a glamp ground here near where I live? They emptied out their retirement funds because they needed $400,000 for their dream. Could it fail? Absolutely. They started it during COVID, but they put that much money on the line because they want the rewards and they put their money where their mouth is. And a risk-friendly person is willing to do that. It's not that they weren't afraid. It's not that I'm not afraid. And other entrepreneurs, you just say, I don't care about the fear. I want what I want, and I'm going to go for it, right? And then the last one is that you have to be coachable, which means willing to learn new skills, willing to listen, willing to follow in the path of somebody who's gone before you and learn new ways of doing things. Maybe you're not super organized. Maybe you're not great at time management, money management, operating from an empowering mindset, staying motivated. It's not to say that to be an entrepreneur, you have to already be those things. If you are, great. If you're not, those skills can be developed. You just have to be willing to do it and not try to always figure out everything on your own. And I'm going to do it my way and all that. Yes, entrepreneurship is about being in charge, but it's also about learning from others who have gone before you. And you have to be willing to do that. And sometimes you got to look at what is my true attitude towards following orders and why is it that it's that way. So remember up number 2, I said, if you don't like, or number 3, I said, if following orders at your job is a challenge for you because you're always thinking, well, I could be doing something better or I could do it a different way. That's okay in a job world, but you want to make sure as an entrepreneur that you do have some aspect of not so much following orders, but following guidance and learning from other people's mistakes and still being willing to obviously think for yourself, but also saying, I need to sit up under people who have gone before me so that I can actually succeed. There's a subtle difference between the two, and you have to understand it and know where you're coming from in order to know whether you are a fit for running your own show in 2022. And so if you know that when I was going through this list, you were checking off a lot of them or most of them or all of them, and you're like, sis, I need to do this. How do I become a high ticket coach? Because guess what? That's what's going to give you total freedom, time and income freedom, absolute flexibility to move about as you wish because you're not tied down to a location. You're not tied down to a schedule. You're absolutely able to write your own ticket in life, but you don't know how to start. You don't know where to start. You don't even think you have what it takes. I'm here to tell you that you do, especially if you checked off most of the stuff on my list. And if you would like help to figure out, hey, can I make a go of this entrepreneurship thing specifically as a premium price coach using my expertise to change other people's lives and being compensated well for it and having complete control over my time, then I would like to speak to you. Book your free breakthrough call with me. It's a free call at melaniehunter.com/chat. That's Melanie with 2 L's, ANIE, hunter.com/chat. get on my calendar and let's have a conversation. We'll be on the phone for about 45 minutes. If you're super chatty or have a lot to talk about, it may go as long as an hour, but whatever. It's going to be the best time you've ever spent preparing for 2022, preparing for that next level business that you are destined to create. It's not going to happen by accident. It's not going to happen by luck. It's not going to sneak up on you. It's not going to happen without you risking anything. It's not going to happen without you investing time and money and energy in it. But guess what? The rewards are going to be so phenomenal. You might be thinking, I can only make $35 or $40 an hour or $25, whatever you make right now, with the skill set I went to school for, the skill set I've gotten on my own. But that's just not true. If you learn how to solve a real pain point in people's lives using what you already know, you can become a 6 or 7 figure earner in no time flat. It does not take a whole lot. The job world has you thinking you're only worth such and such per hour. It's just not true. And I would love to talk to you and show you how you can turn your magic, your brilliance into a phenomenal lifestyle of freedom for yourself. But it starts with you booking your free breakthrough call with me at melaniehunter.com/chat. Be sure to fill out the application on the booking page and the one that pops up right after it so we can get the most value out of your time with me. But either way, you are going to come away from the call with absolute clarity, absolute focus, and you're going to know what the next steps are for you. And if we're fit to work together, we're going to get started that day, moving you towards that dream. Book your call now, and we will talk soon. It's been my pleasure to share with you the 10 reasons why you should be running the show in 2022. Get out there, book your call, and I will see you next time when I come back for my next training. We'll chat soon. Take care and be blessed.